This lecture is on capitalization rules. Capitalization rules for nouns. These can be divided into two main categories: the standard rules and all other places where capitals are used. Standard capitalization rules for nouns. The start of a sentence. So the first word in a sentence is always uppercase. Now the only real exception to this is brand names that start with a lowercase, for example eBay or iPhone. And if it bothers you starting a sentence with a lowercase letter, the advice I can give you is to restructure your sentence so that this brand name is not the first word in the sentence. So you can either put it, say, in a passive form. So instead of saying iPhones are expensive, you can say expensive phones include iPhones. There's that type of thing. And all proper nouns are uppercase. Tom, Jupiter, Wall Street, Buckingham Palace, Tuesday, June, New York. These are all just examples. Please refer to the lecture on common and proper nouns for more details. Now the first person pronoun I is always uppercase. It doesn't matter where it appears in the sentence. It's always uppercase, no exception. There are other places where nouns are capitalized. For instance, in letters and emails, in poetry, in titles and headings. We look now at letters and emails. So a letter or email generally starts like this: Dear Ms. Brown, comma or not comma, many thanks for your letter. Now the M in many is uppercase, even though it doesn't look like it's the start of a sentence. This is just a convention that is used. For informal mails or letters, you would say, Hi Bob, did you also have a great time yesterday? And again, the did starts with a capital letter by convention, even though it looks like it's not the start of a sentence. In poetry, especially traditional poetry, each line starts with a capital letter, irrespective of how the previous line was punctuated. So here's a classic example of a Valentine's poem. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. And we see there's only really one full stop, so it's one sentence, but because it's in a traditional poetry format, each line starts with an uppercase. Now in modern poetry, this convention is not always held. For those of you who like alternative versions of these poems, here's a couple for you. My favourite one is this last one. Roses are red, violets are blue. Some poems rhyme, but this one doesn't. And also in poetry and literature, the letter O is often capitalized as it's used as a form of address. So for example, in the Odyssey, Tell me, O Muse, of that ingenious hero who travelled far and wide. Capitals in titles and headings. There are several options for titles and headings. You can capitalize the first word only. So here it says titles and headings. Only titles has a capital. You can capitalize every word. So titles and headings, each word has a capital letter. Or you can capitalize these significant words, as in this example, titles and headings. So titles, headings have capital letters, but little words like and, or, on, it, they would be left lowercase. The important thing is to be consistent. So if you're doing a group of headings, make sure you use the same format, and it doesn't really matter which one. I personally prefer the significant words, and that's what you generally see here. But again, don't mix and match randomly, keep it consistent within a document.